আমাদের সন্তানরা প্রাণ দিয়ে গেছে। স্মুথ ভাষায় হবে না, রক্তাক্ত পরিবর্তন দরকার। এই কাঠামোকে ভেঙে চুরমার করে দিতে হবে। যে নতুন বাংলাদেশ গড়ার জন্য আপনাকে ব্যাপক সংস্কার আনতে হবে। ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। আমার মনে হয় আমি আপনাদের ধৈর্যচ্যুতি ঘটাবো না। আমাদের এডুকেশনের উপর আব্দুল হক স্যারকে জানাতে চাই, আমাদের এডুকেশনের উপর কিন্তু একটা কমপ্লিট ফুল ফ্লেজেড সেশন আছে। সেজন্য এখানে আমরা শুধু বিজনেস, ইকোনমিক্স, ফাইন্যান্স, ব্যাংকিং, ট্যাক্স, এনবিআর এগুলো নিয়ে কথা বলেছি। ইট ইজ বাই নো মিনস এটা, হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু দ্যাট ইজ ইন্টিগ্রেটেড। হ্যাঁ, এডুকেশন, জি স্যার, জি স্যার, জি স্যার, হ্যাঁ, I absolutely agree, স্যার। আমার মনে হয় স্যার ওই এডুকেশনের জন্য সেই জিনিসগুলোতে বেশি ডিটেল যাচ্ছে না। আমরা অফকোর্স স্টেম এডুকেশনের কথা আমি দেখেছি, আমি বলি নাই, কারণ এডুকেশনের জন্য রেখেছি সেগুলো, প্রাইমারি, সেকেন্ডারি, টার্সিয়ারি, ইউনিভার্সিটি। আমরা শুধু ফোকাস করেছি যেগুলোর ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ইমপ্লিকেশন আছে, যেমন যে এক্সট্রা প্রোগ্রামগুলো, এটা কিন্তু ইনক্রিমেন্টাল কস্টগুলো। আমাদের বাজেট কিন্তু নিশ্চয়ই 2 লাখ কোটি টাকার না, কারণ গতবার লাস্ট বাজেট ইজ প্রায় 8 লক্ষ কোটি টাকা। সো ওই শুধু ইনক্রিমেন্টাল কী কী পলিসি, মানে এই পলিসিগুলোর জন্য কতটুকু এক্সট্রা কস্ট হবে, যেমন আমরা আগের যে বেনিফিট প্যাকেজ আছে, সোশ্যাল সেফটি নেট আছে, এর কোনোটাতেই টাচ করার কথা বলিনি, শুধু এক্সট্রা যেগুলো সেগুলোর জন্য কতটুকু খরচ। সো বাই নো মিনস the package that I proposed or we proposed is by no means the full story. It is only part of the story. But definitely I appreciate the education, infrastructure, technology and industry academia difference. Of course, I mean, apnar motoi one of the ones who can see it every day as a teacher, as a university teacher. The industry wants some kind of skills and আমরা produce করি a different kind of skills, তাই না? So এটা 100% আমরা in agreement। এবং আমার মনে হয় জামাত ইসলামী, as I said, I can't speak on behalf of the party as a whole, but other sessions will respond to those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Rasul Karim, and all the panel members. Would like to end this policy presentation session right now. So please, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the keynote speaker and all the panel members. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you still with us? Good, because now I will be delivering the policies on stand-up comedy. No, I'm just kidding. That's the fault of us youth, you know. But you know, the youth policy is matter of no joke. Even though us youth, we tend to make a lot of joke. So, the future of Bangladesh lies with its youth. And as a Gen Z woman, I'm really excited that our next session focuses on youth employment, unleashing the power of Gen Z and Gen Alpha. This will be a very short session because we'll be, immediately after that, we will have our lunch. So I will, to explore the innovation, skill development, entrepreneurship, and digital transformation, I welcome our speakers and panelists, including Dr. Ashikur Rahman as keynote speaker. He is the Regional Manager of Asia, centralized support to the ENFP network, as well as Masud Rahman as panel member. He is a former senior design engineer. We also have Muhammad Abdullah Al Mahmood, CEO of Thriving Skill, Nurul Islam Saddam, Central President of BICS, Engineer Bilal Ahmed, Executive Committee Member of Bangladesh Association of Software Information Services, Engineer Tunazina Rahimu, Teacher's Assistant in Brack University, and Consultant to Disaster Management. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause for our esteemed guests. I respectfully invite our guests to assume their seats. Yes, and now I invite Dr. Ashikur Rahman to deliver his keynote speech. Dr. Ashikur Rahman.
You go ahead. Okay, no worries. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. I would like to welcome you to the third session of the day and hopefully the last one before lunch. It feels like an absolute miracle to be sitting here and discussing and talking about good governance and prospering economy and everything. I would like to share that for many young voters in their 30s, this would be the first time to vote, including myself. And I would like to seize this opportunity to remind us all with grave gratitude in my heart that this very moment wouldn't be possible without a youth movement. July movement started on the question of asking equal opportunity towards jobs. And Abu Said, Abrar Fahad, Osman Hadi, and countless others, they gave their bloods and lives for giving us insaf. And BangladeshJamaatEIslami acknowledges this and is deeply inspired by the youth and is very welcoming to provide them the reward, the scope, and the lives they deserve. There is no way that we can ever repay the martyrs, but at least we can try and uplift the dreams of them so that we can build a better Bangladesh. Now, whenever we are talking about youth, there are just so many things to discuss, but as we have very limited time for today, we will be focusing towards youth employment. You know, in a country like Bangladesh with so many human capital, it is of utmost importance that the youths are given the jobs of their desired and the jobs they deserved. If we don't, then they would turn to a wasted potential, and we cannot let that happen because they can be a cherished asset. On that note, we can hope that we can build a better Bangladesh together, and I would like to give the stage to Dr. Ashik to further enlighten us on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon. I would like to start from the very last word what our panelists mentioned. A time for building Bangladesh together. It's not a limerick or it's not a poetry alone. It demands responsibility. According to the statistics of Bangladesh Labor Force Survey 2024 of Bangladesh Board of Statistics, it presents a very hard reality for Bangladesh. Currently, we have 2 million youth unemployed. According to the government statistics, the actual number could be much higher. This is a very concerning, even the number is like 2 million. It's all about the age group who is expected to be the most energetic, most innovative, most productive. If they don't find a job, employment, they lost. Literally, they lost. The situation is helping them, turning them toward irregular immigration or become part of social unrest. And even more severe problems than unemployment is underemployment. According to the Labor Force Survey 2024 of Bangladesh Board of Statistics, around 10 million underemployed people are in Bangladesh. The number could be much higher in reality. But the concern is about the individuals who are with higher educational qualifications, with skills and capabilities, who could perform high-valued jobs. But the present situation in Bangladesh forced them to work in low-skilled jobs, to accept low wages employment. As a result, the individual potential is wasted, the productivity declines, and in the economy, basically economy falls into the low productivity traps. In summary, our people are working, but the economy is not benefiting fully from their day labor. It also shows us that the education we are providing in our institutions, school, college, university, madrasa, Tibet, vocational, whatever we have, the institutions that do not match the skills demand that are looking forward from the industry nationally and globally. At the same time, if we think about the international market, let me begin from the international market. We have seen there is a increasing demands in different types of sectors: construction traders, care workers, industry technicians, let's say hospitality professionals, seafarers, drivers, agriculture specialists from many different countries. But the first world, they also want the youth trained with proper knowledge on the activity they're gonna do. They want professionalism. They want working language, job language. Bengali is not enough. And also they want cultural norms and values. So, our policy framework for international market is very clear. We'd like to go for low skill migration to high skill youth workforce mobility by reducing the cost for deployment, for placements. We'd like to ensure there is no low fall for the middleman exploitation. We'd like to ensure transparent employment and also government supported activities around the person who would like to travel abroad. If we think about the sectors for overseas and national perspective, there are many high demand sectors. I would like to mention only a few names that will help you to understand that we did segmentation, we did skill mapping, we did the demand driven mapping that actually currently our country wants, and also we are getting requests from overseas. Let's start with construction and infrastructure. It needs skilled workers, skilled masons, technicians, plumbers, supervisors. If you think about the manufacturing, there is the technicians, oil-trained technicians who has the international standards. If we go for digital and IT services, we need more freelancers who work from home, who work from very rural area, who work from different district area, but bring money back to Bangladesh. We also have care economy. I hope you understand. We need more nurses. We need more professional child care professionals. We need more care workers. If you think about the green economy and agriculture, this is the future for Bangladesh. We need more specialists, trained specialists in these fields, as well as retail, hospitality and transports. We need the trained managers. We need professional people in this field. So let's go for water transport marine service. This is where, which could be newly implemented in Bangladesh, and we could export our talents because we have the opportunity. But still there are a lot of challenges. We did several researches for a long time to understand what exactly happened. Thanks to Dr. Warisul Karim, who mentioned that each year we are actually sending 23 lakhs, 2.3 million people in the job market, but hardly the decent job is only 23,000. If you think about the informal job, it barely has like 1.3 million. Still, there are 1 million who didn't find the job. The main problem is skill mismatch. Our mentality is very clear. We would like to go for certificates in the university. Hardly we find the exact training that demanded by the industry. Also, whatever we are discussing about the skill development, entrepreneurship, education reformation for youth, or in short, youth employment, there is a big problem with our fragmented governance system in Bangladesh. Currently, 7 ministries are part of this. Ministry of Youth and Sport, Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Primary Education and Mass Education, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Industry, ICT Division and local governments. All are engaged, but there is the fragmented governance that actually stops to get the best benefit from the government. We also notice that our rural youth, our women are really far behind. They don't have sufficient access to finance and mentorship. And there's a huge gap in trainings. Our vocational institutions are providing trainings. Unfortunately, the curriculum is very obsolete. That is not ready for the current one. Forget about the future one. Therefore, inshallah, BangladeshJamaatEIslami, with mandate to govern, we want to facilitate 10 million youth trained with market demand skills. Would like to go for 5 million job placements and creation directly assisted by the government. Would like to go for 500K new entrepreneurs in the market, fully supported, trained, mentored, and financed by the government. Would like to go for 1.5 freelancers. We didn't forget to be freelancers. Would like to bring freelancing home in the village. And finally, in order to do this, we also need a unified governance and educational reform. This is one of the major, measurable implementation strategies we have for 10 million youth trained with market relevant skills. Our motto is very straightforward. No youth left behind from the planning of BangladeshJamaatEIslami. We'd like to go for high demand skills, including languages, AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, care economy, green energy, green skills, moral training, ethical training, training on cultural values and norms, and so on. We'd like to introduce youth tech labs in every upazila in Bangladesh. That will help our youth to be ready, like job graduates with global standards. And of course, I hope many of you know that there is a very famous model that is really working in Bangladesh with thousands of models, what is called Ustad Shagred model, at the very rural level. By this, Dr. Professor Warisol Karim mentioned that there will be skill recalibration training scholarships. So those who are studying, let's say those who are dropouts, illiterate students or primary students, those who are like SSC, HSC, 2-year diploma students, those who are studying in vocational TBED or technical education, those who are in the madrasa, religious students, everyone has been considered in our plan. In order to go for 5 million job placements, the number is real and it is possible to implement in terms of domestic and overseas. Would like to bring a very new innovation. BangladeshJamaatEIslami would like to go for district youth job banks. In every district, we'll have youth job banks where the job seekers will submit there, will register there, and they will get the job facilitated by the government in the district. We'll collect all the demand from the district, so no one need to come to Dhaka to do the exam. No one need to come to Dhaka to do the interview. Everything will be controlled at the district and divisional level. Through skill mapping, through introducing apprenticeships at the industry, because industry needs experience certificate. And BangladeshJamaatEIslami would like to propose and would like to implement internships, apprenticeships at the industry during their graduation level. It will be a bit kind of mandatory, but it will be gradually. Would like to introduce also local and overseas employer commitments. You know that many countries want skilled migrants from Bangladesh. And BangladeshJamaatEIslami would like to promise in a way that we will bring the employers in Bangladesh who needs different types of sector-specific skilled young. And of course, IT-based jobs will help a lot, around 40%. Let's go for 500K new entrepreneurs. We are very specific and very focused for our women, youth, and marginalized. Would like to help them by providing access to finance, by helping with incubation and acceleration facilities at the district level. And definitely, Our intention from the very beginning is demand driven, not following the supply chain. We would like to train you. This is not our parameter metrics to understand how it is working or not. Our parameter is to see if the person get a decent income or not after getting training, after entering in the job field. And of course, BangladeshJamaatEIslami would like to facilitate the market linkage. So we'd like to bring the market in the home. Let's go for the final one. For doing all this facilitation, commitments, we need a unified government. We need a unified ministry. Thanks to the last person who made the question that we have many different ministries, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we consider this. And we have observed 7 ministries are involved currently helping youth. So we'd like to bring all the departments together under one unified ministry that will help us to get a oil plant activity coordinated by one ministry. We don't need 7 more ministries just for youth employment. So therefore, this is one of the proposals that we would like to go for centralized workforce development and placement in one place, all bringing together. And finally, in order to do all these things, I keep mentioning about education transformation, education transformation. This is the key actually for us that will help us to achieve all the goals. Would like to go for skill-based higher education. Would like to introduce internship during the study period. It would be a bit mandatory internship. Would like to go for expanded, let's say, illiterate pathways to helping low-skill illiterate people to be a little skilled, so he can up-skilling and he can get into the, let's say, he can get into the money generation. Our remittance will boost up. Our remittance will help us if they have a little skill. And finally, would like to go for modernization, not only for technical parts, also for TBET, vocational education. Our intention is to bring all these educational entities into the real picture of the job placement in Bangladesh. Finally, I'd like to mention following, okay, this is a very short time, we cannot explain everything, but please, I would like to ensure that in our policy framework, BangladeshJamaatEIslami would like to ensure we didn't forget you, those who made the July Revolution. Would like to ensure that no individual talent will be wasted. Would like to ensure no youth left behind. And our job employment policy is no longer just like sectoral issue. It is our national mission. Thank you so much. And I would like to welcome now Mr. Abdul Al Mahmoud, our ICT veteran, who will show us the pathway how ICT could be a powerful tool and transform the lives of Bangladeshi youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashik Bhai. Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. Already Ashik Bhai mentioned about different agendas. Now we need to understand from these agendas, it's not working. Oh, yes. From these agendas, actually, what is our aspiration? What's our vision? So we are dreaming a country that is powered by AI, and we want to convert the labor-based economy to knowledge-based economy by 2040, not 2030. It's not possible for us to make the country knowledge-based within 2030. That's why we are visioning that we will convert the labor-centric economy to knowledge-centric economy by 2040. If you consider the figures, you see all of our economic figures, remittance, then garments, all these are labor-centric. Our industries are creating FMCGs and second industrial revolution relevant products. We are not the producers of computers or computer relevant products. Even we are not the data creators in some cases. So we want to convert that. When we talk about the freelancing, what's the field? So through ICT, we will actually, okay. We will create 2 million ICT jobs within 2030. It's not 2040. Within 2030, we will create 2 million ICT jobs. This is our target. And second thing is, if we would able to ensure the ICT relevant services, AI relevant services, we would able to provide seamless services to citizens. As you know, government, one of the key agenda of government is to provide services to citizens. So if we would able to enable ICT in citizen services, interestingly, last government developed 365 plus apps, but most of the apps are not running, or citizens are not getting services from those solutions. So we want to ensure that citizens will get ICT enabled services. So these two actually create the jobs in the ICT sectors and in the freelancing sectors. So what are those sectors? If we talk about the ICT areas, you know, we have hardwares, we have softwares, and we have networking infrastructures. Lots of things are there. Through Digital Bangladesh, though it was the branding of last government, unfortunately we are not digital yet. All of our infrastructure, or all of our public infrastructure, I would say, this is fragmented. So I would like to show you where we stand right now. Okay. So there are three engines basically. We call number one is public sectors. This is our foundation. Then private sector. This is the engine, and we call human capital. That is the fuel. So our foundation is fragmented. Systems have been developed through siloed mechanism. That is, there is interoperability gap. Ministries cannot interoperate the data, and that's why it is not possible for us to train up the data and to provide AI-enabled services. And we will address that. Second one, for private sectors, we have lots of good examples. MFS, I would say, Bikash has revolutionized mobile financing services. And in case of hardware, we have Walton and Fair Electronics. They have also revolutionized hardware mechanisms. And in the softwares, though we have hundreds of software companies, but unfortunately our export figures is not showing us that we are not good enough. We have BASIS, ECAP, BACO, lots of associations are there, lots of organizations, but unfortunately our figures, as if I mention, you would understand the figure if we consider the ICT export with other sector exports. RMZ is giving us 45 to 48 or 50 billion dollars export, whereas our ICT exports is only 700 million. That means you even didn't cross 1 billion. So we need to address that in the private sectors. And then our human capital, we have demographic dividend up to 2040. As you know, our population, 40% of our populations are youth. If we provide them better skills, they would be actually our asset. So we will set as some agendas. As our time is limited, it's not possible for us to show you all the mechanism that how we actually re-engineer our human capital. So this is our third engine, that is we call the fuel, through which we will actually transform our country from labor-centric economy to knowledge-centric economy. So to do that, definitely we need to address some policy issues. First, that we need to depoliticize the strategy. Last government developed 39 plus high-tech parks. Unfortunately, these are only infrastructures. It is not creating any ROI, we call return on investments. So we need to address these issues. We need to depoliticize the, I would say, the policy papers we have developed. Actually, we have considered the national issues, not political agendas. JamaatEIslami is not setting policies to serve the political parties. It is actually develop the policies to serve the nations. So we will depoliticize the strategy. Number two is reclaim digital sovereignty. I can tell you one data. Our national ID can be accessed from 182 points. That is, this is very vulnerable. Our data